Let's start off with Safaricom because many traders saying they were largely expected to increase tariffs. They've increased local and international calling tariffs. Does this set the tone for other telecoms operators now?
Good morning, Samantha. Well, Safaricom have been pushed to do this. I think they have been suffering a lot. They have bin cutting back for the past 11 years. But right now they find themselves in a tight spot. They have to increase the tariffs or have their revenues wane. Looking at the whole telephony industry, I guess it may be a good thing in the long run. The prices have been too subdued, competition has been too high, revenues have been too slim. So I guess some of the others may take the same lead and also increase their rates. But for Safaricom, it may be a talking point for them.
And you saw Safaricom stock rise on the back of that news, up 1.7% on the day. So clearly investors, as you say, liking the news that margins may improve on the back of this. Let's move on to Unga Group. Full year earnings up there by 88%. To what extent have high food prices helped earnings in the full year?
Well, I guess it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, they had the high commodity prices to their favor. On the other hand, they had the drought situation and the maize shortage to their disadvantage. So I think they've managed to balance that out to their favor. And to report double-digit growth in a time like this, I think it's really good. Also, to give a dividend of 75 cents per share, that puts their dividend yield at one of the highest. So I can say it's commendable performance for the company.
We saw the stock rallying on the back of that news, up 7.4% on the day. If you look at the stock currently at 9 shillings 1 cent, where to from here for Unga's share price?
Well, I guess we'll see a lot of demand. Right now in the market, the demand is much higher than the supply. I guess we'll see the price rally in course of the week, maybe in course of the month until the books close for that dividend payout. It seems to be a very cheap stock on a price to earnings basis, and any investor looking to get into Unga may as well do so now. So I would say there's a rally for a couple of days.
Which other listed companies would you evaluate Unga against on the Nairobi Stock Exchange?
Well, I would put it alongside other manufacturers, others in the industrial and allied sector. More particularly, I would look at the counter like Kenyan Cobble, which is in energy, and looking also at the price, more or less the same kind of range in terms of investment opportunity. And also looking at the industry, we look at what they put in. Kenyan Cobble has a lot in terms of costs when it comes to currency as opposed to Unga. So I would put them more or less on the same platform for an investor to choose.
Now, Kenya Power has received a 4.5 billion shilling loan from the IFC, and that's in order to fund its 5-year investment program. What predominantly will these funds be used for? Well,
they've had a lot of things. They have a lot of plans underway. We've had them with expansion plans. We've had them trying to get their books right. They had a rights issue last year. This was meant to also increase their distribution infrastructure. They were also meant to tap into alternative sources of energy. And I think this is part of that plan, which may be extending for the short term.
Could we see electricity prices coming down in the medium to long term on the back of this extension in the power supply over in Kenya, given the fact that we have had high electricity prices for the majority of this year?
That's really unlikely in the short term, considering just a few weeks ago they actually increased the prices
in the
for
medium
electricity.
To long term, rather.
I don't think so. I don't see that happening, actually.
Yeah. Just very quickly, looking at the price of these stocks, still trading at a discount to its net asset value, which is at around 22 shillings 50 cents. At 17 shillings, would you be buying Kenya Power ahead of its full year results?
Yes, I would be buying it, and I think that is a very favorable price. It's more or less the same price which they had their rights issue for. So maybe if I had missed out at that time, I would look at this as an opportunity to get in.